Chapter 394. The speed was unexpectedly tremendous. It wasn't a futile act that Kishir had merely waited patiently for their arrival. In Yudhir's previous life, Yudhir had been dispatched to deal with notorious various monsters that were difficult to handle. Yet, knowing how to kill them didn't mean that Yudhir knew how to study them. It was a little skeptical when attaching the title of an expert, but it seems reasonable. The peculiarity I learned while repeatedly observing the monster eating and digesting is that digestion doesn't occur automatically at the same time as consumption. Yudhir turned his head at the surprising words that came while inwardly admiring them. Not digesting automatically? How does it eat all day without its body bursting? For you, being a human, it might seem strange, but I can understand. The non human Anon calmly replied and continued. It eats all day because it needs magic to live. But when supplied with a steady, consistent piece of magic stone imbued with sufficient magic, I discovered that it doesn't proceed with immediate digestion and absorption as before. The small Pathomet usually digested almost simultaneously as it absorbed the faint magic found in the vegetables or grass it was fed. However, when continuously fed with small fragments of magic stones filled with abundant magic, even the size of a fingernail, it began to show a different aspect. The movements of the hidden poison sac beneath its belly stir and move when absorbing the magic that has entered its stomach. It doesn't move when not digesting. Mick discovered it. Based on those movements, the three continued their research, and they became confident that Pathomet would freely control its digestion and magic absorption. Then, yes, what I'm investigating with its body fluid now is related to that. As I thought before, it seems possible to activate the toxicity you absorbed. The positive signal brightened the mood. Anon clicked his tongue, seeing the light in Yudhir's eyes. You're that happy? Previously, you were not even worried about your power not coming back. My thoughts have changed now. There was now a solid reason to recover quickly. Most of the reason was because of Kishir. But Yudhir didn't go that far in saying it. So, how will you activate the toxicity? When will you start? We will begin after ensuring it's as safe as possible. Even if we are quick, it will take a few more days. That's too late. Why? There was no deadline to finish everything, right? Yudhir opened his mouth slightly, looking at Anon's moody side profile. You must have heard, but soon there will be a charity party and secret auction under the intention of Baron Wilhelm and Duke Dane. I don't want to be in this condition by then. I must fully recover by that time. I heard it's going to happen. What are you going to do there? What has the commander asked you to do? Or are you just involved? Why had the spark suddenly flown towards Kishir? Yudhir frowned and replied. What to do? As a cavalry member, I will be participating in some way, and if I think my strength is needed, I must step forward, but I can't in this state. You're not getting anxious because you think something will happen there? Only then did Yudhir understand what Anon was saying. It seemed he was suspicious that Yudhir was going to repeat the same act as before, confronting the gigantic Pathomet alone. This time, it's not like that. Anon gazed into Yudhir's eyes, penetrating the truth and falsehood. After staring intently for a long time, he finally seemed to realize that Yudhir's words were not lies. His facial muscles twitched with an irritated expression as he looked back. You should have something I can believe in. ... But it's dangerous to proceed more quickly here. We need to repeat the verification process several times to grasp the possibilities and variables to some extent. As long as there is a possibility of recovery, the danger doesn't matter. You might not care, but I do. Did you hear what I just said? His cheeks were grabbed and, with a rare shout of anger, stretched out. He looked ridiculous, but Yudhir did not give up making eye contact with Anon. I must get better. Help me just this once, Anon. ... The strength drained from Anon's hand, pinching his cheek tightly. Late to realize that his grip has loosened, he glared at his innocent fingers like they were the culprit, sighed deeply twice, and sat back down. How did I end up meeting such a guy? He grumbled, then pulled something out from a pile of medicinal herbs. It looked like black medicine that was in the process of drying. What's this? A test sample of medicine I'm making for monster poison. The long explanation that followed could be summarized as a potion made by processing the toxic fluid of young Pethuamet, neutralizing it with various medicines, and employing magic power. Anon explained that in terms of composition, it yielded the best results, but research was incomplete as they hadn't yet confirmed the risks when applied to humans. I was going to improve it until I was certain that you wouldn't die from it. Then give it to you. So then, Anon sharply slapped away the hand that Yudhir promptly reached out. Listen to the story first. Yudhir sat upright, hands on his knees, so as not to provoke him further. Still frowning, Anon's eyebrows twitched as he opened his lips to continue speaking. Based on current predictions, if you take this, the poison in the medicine will react with the poison in your body, breaking the current balance of power within you. There will be substantial pain, but magic herbs will alleviate some of it. Meanwhile, you need to activate the power of absorption to completely digest and expel the remaining poison. Can I immediately use the power of absorption? If you have a strong will to overcome the pain. Anon responded calmly. A power is a tool led by the will of the user. The simpler and purer the will, the more powerfully it is exerted. And you have already wielded a power similar to a medium, so that experience will help. In fact, I trust that in making this medicine. While listening to Anon's words that it would be possible if he didn't forget, Yudhir repeatedly recalled a new yet familiar word. Will, huh? I will try to improve it as much as possible until the auction, but I will give you only one in case it's not completed by then. Eat it after careful consideration, only if you feel like you will die if you don't use your power. I understand. Thank you, Anon. When you thank me, I don't feel happy at all. Anon replied with a grimace, reluctantly dropping a pill into Yudhir's hand with a truly reluctant face. Then he rummaged through his bag and threw a bottle filled with a small white pills. And take this as well. You said it was stifling when you used your power, so these should help alleviate that. This is too much. Quite. And take 10 after each meal, morning, noon, and night. You need to lay the groundwork in preparation for when you take that poison medicine later on. There was no room to argue when the pharmacist said so. Yudhir silently tucked the bottle away, and Anon finally relaxed his eyes. And you said earlier that you wanted to know something about a good recovery method when a mage is exhausted. Just a good night's sleep and eat well, that's it. Staring blankly at the too nonchalant answer, Anon crossed his arms, as if to say, What do you want from me? Why are you looking at me like that? Forcefully replenishing depleted magic energy is actually worse for the body. If you are in a situation where you have used up so much power that it's dangerous, you need to seek a priest, not a potion. All right, I understand. Is that it? That's it. What more reaction did he expect after hearing all the answers? Enon, whose lips had subtly twitched as though he wanted to say something, exhaled a long breath and replied, "No, never mind." He then pulled something else from his bag and roughly threw it at Yudhir. Catching it, Yudhir saw that it was a small potion. "Take it." "What's this?" "It's just a vitality recovery potion. If you don't want it, give it back." Yudhir slipped the potion into his pocket before Enon's hand could reach for it. Though rough and gruff, Enon couldn't hide his generous nature, and that part was so like him that Yudhir let out a faint smile. "I will take it. Thank you."